เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลย ไม่ได้รวยขึ้น ไม่ได้ออกทีวี ไม่มีใครรู้จัก ไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
ไทยประกันชีวิตเชื่อในความดี
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลย ไม่ได้รวยขึ้น ไม่ได้ออกทีวี ไม่มีใครรู้จัก ไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิม
Hagar was a single mother. She was abandoned by the family she belonged to. And there in the wilderness with her son, alone, with very little provision, she was wondering. She was questioning. Does anyone care? She's crying in the desert. She's lost in her despair. She thinks nobody loves her. Hagar thinks nobody's there. But God says, I will be a ring of fire around her, and I will be the glory in her midst, and the power of my presence will bring her to her knees, and I will lift her up again, for I'm the God who sees. I'm the God who sees. Then he speaks in gentle whispers, and he softly calls her name. She feels his arms enfold her as he holds her, and she'll never be the same, 'cause I'm the God who never changes, and my promises are true. And when this world deserts you, this is what I'll do. And then there was another woman named Ruth. She was from the land of Moab, and she was met with grief and heartache. She was a widow, and she lived with her mother-in-law, who was also a widow. And now it was time to move on. But Ruth had never been to Bethlehem. She had never tasted of the house of bread. But now she had heard an inner invitation to come and taste and see. And so she vowed herself to her mother-in-law and said, where you go, I will go. Where you lie, I will lie. Where you die, I will die. And she begins a journey to the promised land. She's traveling through the desert, and she's leaving her despair. She's hoping for a future, praying God will lead her there. And he says, I will put a ring around your finger, and I will bless a child within your womb, and the Savior will be born for you to from sin. And he'll make all things new for you and love you back to life again. And then from Ruth, who gave birth to a son, Obed, who gave birth to a son, Jesse, who gave birth to a son named David. Now this same once shepherd boy, mighty warrior, anointed king, is alone, terrified in the darkness. He's hiding in the desert. He's battling despair. David thinks his life is over, it's over. And God, he doesn't care. But God says, I will be the rock of your salvation. I'll hold you up by the strength of my right hand, and the power of my spirit will free you from all fear. In the hour of your deepest need, you'll find that I am near. I am here, 'cause I will be a ring of fire around you, and I will be the glory in your midst, and the power of my presence will bring you to your knees, and I will lift you up again, for I'm the God who sees. And then from the line of David, finally, Jesus, the Messiah, the Anointed One, Yeshua, the Christ, born in the same house of bread to be the bread of life in the town of Bethlehem. And he would grow, and he would be called the Son of God. He would be called Emmanuel, God with us. And he would heal, and he would reveal. And then he had an encounter with a woman named Mary of Magdala, who was plagued by demons, tormented by evil spirits. And Jesus set her free. And Mary followed him. She listened at his feet. She served him, and she loved him. Oh, how she loved him. But then she watched as they nailed him to the cross, and as they placed his body in the tomb. In that moment, her hope died. It died. She's crying in the garden. She's broken in despair. She's searching for her Savior, but his body isn't there. Then he says, Mary. Glory, 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 hallelujah. I will be the glory in your midst.
Hey, hi, everyone. How are you? Welcome to our regular financial planning session. So if you have good bandwidth, can you please turn on your video so I can also see you? Okay. I see Maven. Hi. Okay, can I also see others? All right. So I'm so happy to have you here tonight. My name is Sherry Ladisla, Senior Branch Head of Ablaze True North, and I will be your facilitator and speaker for tonight's financial planning session. And without further ado, now let's start our session. The topic that I want to share with you is how to be financially free. But before I go to my main topic, mga few house rules lang. So again, if you have a good Wi-Fi connection, please turn on your videos. Second, please take down notes on the things that I will be sharing to you today because there will be a lot of things, maybe a few aha moments. And it's good if you can take down notes para naman may mabalikan kayo later, no? And lastly, if you have questions, just feel free to chat in the chat box. I'll get back to you later. Please turn off your audio. Okay? So, clear lang ba lahat? Right. So, let me see. Sino bang nag-turn on? Hi, Mimay. Hi, Christine. Welcome. No? Fellow branch heads of AXA, welcome to my session tonight. Okay, now actually, a Blaze family is an advocate of financial literacy. In fact, we are doing this for years now in a lot of organizations. And I'm so happy that I have a batch, not tonight, virtually joining my session. Okay, why we are doing this? According to one article from Business World, anxiety about finances in the Philippines highest in Asia Pacific. No? According to the survey, I think this is not the statistic that we want to be number one. No? But unfortunately, Filipinos are really anxious about finances. In fact, 70% of Philippine respondents said na yung managing ng utang is the major challenge. And if we have financial stress, especially pag chronic na siya, no? Especially if it is not addressed, kasi sometimes we are avoiding it, sometimes we think it's normal because majority of the people are also feeling the same. But don't you know that financial stress can also manifest to physical stress, physical issues? People with financial stress, may 44% chance nagka-migraine o pakicheck nga. No? Baka kayo, yung migraine nyo dahil pala yan sa financial issue. 39% nag-iinsomnia, magkaka-high blood pressure, may stomach ulcer, yung mga tension, back, severe anxiety, even severe depression can actually be caused by financial stress. No? And you know, money and mental health, they are also interrelated. No? So if you have financial difficulties, it will increase your worry and anxiety. Lumalala yung mental health natin, lalong mahirap mag-manage ng pera kasi hindi na sound yung ating decision making and little will you know, you spiral down. No? But ito lang yung good news, no? We can have hope, no, to break the cycle of poverty and financial instability, not just in our homes but even helping our country as well. Paano natin gagawin yan? Through rekindling our journey to financial freedom. Kaya ito yung topic na gusto kong i-rekindle for you tonight, no? And when I say financial freedom, it is defined as the ability to live the lifestyle you desire without having to work or rely on anyone else for money, no? I'm not even putting numbers here, but to live the lifestyle that you want, such as to retire early. Gusto niyo ba mag-retire early? No? Sino sa inyo ang gusto mag-retire early? No? Or maybe to have your dream home, no? Hindi man ganito kaganda, but for sure you have your dream home. Or baka naman the dream to bring your family abroad. No? Andyan pa ba yung ating lofty dream to bring your family to Europe? Or, ito yung maganda, to live a debt-free life. no? Yung iba naman gusto na at least man lang, ma'am, to have that sense of financial security na just in case a crisis will happen, I know I can manage it dahil ready ako, no? Or it could be freedom could mean to be the giver in the family kaysa sa maging receiver. Di ba mas maganda yung feeling na ikaw yung may capacity to give, no? Kaysa sa ikaw yung hingi ng hingi, no? Mas maganda if you'll be the one who can help your family members, your relatives, and your friends. Kasi kaya mo. Kasi yun yung capacity mo. And that's what I mean when I say financial freedom. Financial freedom provides the freedom of choice. And sana, sa attendees natin tonight, no, you will also try to aim again, no, to be financially free and not just accept the reality na we are just surviving. Okay. So, paano ba maging financially free? I'll make it easy for you. Ito lang yung formula na gusto kong i-remember nyo all the time, no? It's when your passive income exceeds your expenses. Now, it's just a formula. Passive income should be greater than your expenses. So, paano maging financially free? Paano namin ma-hit yung formula na yon? You have to win 2 games, my friends, no? Una, you have to win the mind game. Second, you have to win the money game. Okay? Let me delve into the first one. First, win the mind game. And I tell you, this is the most difficult one to achieve. According to Joe Vitale, money will always match your mindset. So if you have scarcity, baka you have a scarcity mindset. No? If your money is a mess, baka naman the mindset is a mess. No? So paki-check, ano bang state, ano bang financial state mo today? Because it could be an issue with how things are running in your mind, no? Let me just share a few things, no? Let us lang. May rich mindset ka ba? May poor mindset ka, no? Rich mindset ka daw if naghahanap ka always ng pagkakakitaan, no? Do you know of anybody na kahit na nag-start yung COVID-19 pandemic, nung nag-lockdown, nakita yung opportunity na, ay, magbebenta ako ng mask, ba? Ay, magbebenta ako ng alcohol. Ganon, di ba? How about packed lunch? Ganon ang mga people with a rich mindset. They'll always spot opportunities. But poor mindset daw, naghahanap ng pagkakagastusan, no? So, may I ask you, when you have your salary, when you have your commission, what is the first thing that came to mind? Is it to grow it or is it to go to SM? Ayun. So, wag na kayong sumagot, baka mahalata, no? But just answer it internally. Second point, rich mindset ka daw, di bale simple ang forma, basta may pera, di ba? If you notice, truly rich people, they dress simply. They don't want it. No? Yung kakilala ko nga, sinusuot yung boysan na t-shirt lang, no? Sabi ko, grabe naman to si sir, no? May-ari ng napakalaking warehouse, yung kadil ko before, pero nakasuot lang na isang freebie ng boysan t-shirt, di ba? Poor mindset, di baling walang pera, basta maganda ang forma. No? Anong tawag niyo dyan? O, kayo na mag-decide, no? May kakilala ka ba na importante talaga ang LV, no? Importante talaga na iPhone. Ano na bang upgrade ang iPhone ngayon? 15 na ba? O, importante nag-upgrade kahit na functioning naman yung phone mo. O yan. So, paki-check, no? Third, mindset mo daw, i-reach mindset ka kung kaysa maghanda ng bongga, idadagdag na lang sa puhunan. O, di ba? Pero poor mindset, mangungutang para makapaghanda ng bongga. Fiesta sa amin, ma'am, kailangan ng lechon, mangungutang ako. Iyan. Indicator pala yan ng poor mindset. No? No problem actually with a special occasion if budget allows. The problem is, kung talagang nangutang, if it's beyond your means and your budget, dyan tayo nagkakaproblema. No? And if you this unchecked, if you are not aware on the kind of financial decisions that you do daily, those things are actually the ones that will kill you. Those things are actually the ones pulling you down, no? Aside sa mindset, meron pang ibang bagay itong mga habit na ito, no? Una, YOLO. Sino here ang nag-work sa isang BPO, no? Yung talagang pagod, ma'am, kasi night shift ako, no? I deserve this. Kailangan kumain agad after salary, di ba? You only live once. Kaya, spend ng spend, no? Ang dami pa namang mga options available, no? To go to restaurants, mag-KTV and all, no? Second, spending habit. Aminin, sino here ang may app ng Shopee, ng Lazada, ng Grab, ng Foodpanda, no? Ang bilis mag-add to cart, 'di ba? No? So impulsive buying, saka na lang natin i-deal 'yan, no? Sayang ang ating mga pa-promo, sayang. Kasi naka-sale, no? So, malapit na yung December 12. O, tingnan natin kung you will mark yourself safe sa Shopee. 'Di ba? So, mura naman. But nagko-compile, no? And little will you know, those habits, no, are actually destroying your ability to your quest for financial freedom. O, 'di ba? O, third, spending habit. Sino sa inyo ang may ganito ding feeling time to time, no? The fear of missing out. Na, ay hindi pwedeng maiwan ako sa travel. Lahat na nagbarkada ko pupunta na ng Singapore kasi nag-sale sa Cebu Pacific. O, sino sa inyo ang nakabili ng super pass, no? Sayang naman. So, ayan, wala sa budget, wala sa original plan, napasubo dahil you were afraid to miss out. Now, there are so many spending habits that are actually killing you, but this is something na I want you to be aware, no? It's the little things that will kill you, no? The little decisions will be the ones that will kill you. So, importante, awareness. Kaya sinasabi ko, in order to be financially free, you have to win the mind game. You have to address what is your relationship with money. How do you think about money? Ano yung mindset meron ka? Abundance mindset ba? Scarcity mindset ba? And that is something that only you can address. No? Kahit ano pang sasabihin ko tonight, it will not have an impact if ikaw mismo, hindi mo aaminin na you have to change the way you think and you have to also challenge the core values that you have. Ayon. So, dahil sa mga ganitong habits, dahil sa ganitong mga mindset, no? Sino sa inyo ay feeling parang long jump always, to ang itawid from one sweldo to the next, no? Included pa doon yung kailangan mag-pray pa tayo, Lord, sana hindi ako magkakasakit kasi hindi siya included sa plan, no? I'm not ready to take any crisis at all. Hirap na nga idugtong yung 15th to 30th of the month, no? Parang yung life cycle, 15th to 30th of the month lang. May kakilala ka bang ganyan? They are just trying to survive and little will you know, they fall in a debt trap. And if you start being in the debt trap, it will be harder, no, to get out of it, no? The good news lang, kaya naman if you decide so to get out of that and to start taking actions in order to address that. So, kaya dahil sa mga ganong mindset, ganong habits, 70% of Filipinos stressed by debt. Ganyan kasaklap ang statistics ng mga Pinoy. Majority may utang, no? May good kind of utang naman actually. But the problem is if the utang that you have are not good debts. No? So, importante you remember this. You cannot change the fruit without changing the root. No? Kailangan i-address mo muna what runs in your head. Kaya, win the inner game first. Win the mind game first. Okay? So, I hope gets nyo yung first top part of my session tonight. Mind game. Second game that you have to win para magiging financially free ka is to win the money game. Dito naman, I will teach you steps how to game. Again, ano ba yung objective ng ating game? To earn enough passive income to pay for the lifestyle that you choose. So if currently your source of income is active income, sweldo, you cannot afford to retire. Ano ba yung active income? You have to give time, you have to put effort to earn money. No? Tulad ng ating sweldo. However, kung hindi ka nag-grow ng passive income, bawal pakawalan ng active income. So, paano tayo magre-retire? Hindi tayo magiging financially free. So, ang importante in this life's journey, start kang mag-set aside for passive income. Doon ka mag-start na mag-grow so that it will reach the point na kaya na niyang i-sustain yung lifestyle na gusto mo. Okay? So, ito yung reality. Mali ang sistema sa pera. Kaya, 45% of Filipinos are dependent on relatives. No, so may maraming mga parents no who are dependent on the children no to take care of them. 30% are dependent on charity, no? Yung mga 4Ps, mga DSWD. 23% would love to retire but cannot dahil hindi enough ang na build na passive income. And only 2% out of 100, guys, ang financially independent. And this is a very sad reality, no? Kukonti lang pala ang nakapaghanda properly. And I cannot blame them because for sure, hindi din sila na-educate properly how to prepare for a good retirement. No? However, today, you are very lucky dahil nakikinig kayo sa akin tonight. Sana may matutunan kayo so that you can prepare for your own retirement. No? Guys, ito yung life expectancy ng isang Pinoy. No? The average lifespan is 80. I heard naging 72 point something na ito, but for simplicity's sake, let's retain 80. And if we divide that into 4 quadrants, yung 0 to 20, what do? No, we study, we play. This is an area for growth and discovery, di ba? And then we reach the age of 20 to 40, the second quarter of life. This is already a period of first, no? First job, first salary, first na mga, siguro first phone, I don't know. First na ikaw yung nagbayad ng phone, first house, and you enter the third quarter, 40 to 60, this is when you become better. Maybe you have an upgrade, no? Upgrade siguro sa job, upgrade sa sweldo. Maybe by this time as well, meron ka ng family and you start to take care of your children, the education of your children. And little will you know, umabot ka na sa fourth quarter. Ano yung 60 to 80? You become empty nesters. This is a new beginning na naman. No? And when you reach this point, you'll find yourself na wala na ring income. Ano yung point ng aking life expectancy? Ditong life wheel na ito. If you are heavily dependent on salary, you have only 40 productive years. Okay? You have only 40 productive years. Halos pare-pareho lang tayo. Plus minus 5 siguro. No? But whatever decisions that you do on your 40 years will determine the kind of life you will have on the fourth quarter. No? So they say when you are born poor, it's not your fault. However, if you retire poor, it's entirely your fault. Kasi decision mo na yan, no? Decision mo na on how to manage your finances. Kaya I hope, medyo tingin ko naman mga bata pa yung aking audience today, you decide better, no? Sa mga financial situations moving forward. Now, mahal bang mag-retire, ma'am? O sige na nga, let's try to compute. 70 pesos per meal, swak na ba sa inyo to? Not sure. So, sa mga taga Manila, if swak ang 70, but dito sa province, baka carry ang 70 pesos per meal. No? Let's say 70 pesos per meal times 3 meals a day, you need 210 pesos per day. Hindi ko na in-include ang mga pa-snacks niyo, ha? Now, 210 pesos per day, multiply that with 365 days a year, you already need 76,650 per year. And let's say you retire at age 60 and you live until age 80 kasi yun yung mission ni Lord sa'yo hanggang 80, no? You need 1.533 million pesos for food alone. Now, ano pa mga bagay ang pinagkakagastusan natin when we retire, no? Siyempre, andyan pa yung medicine, andyan yung ating utilities, andyan yung need for transportation, for clothing, so on and so forth. Baka pati na rin caregiver. And those things are not even factored. Guys, that's already 1.533. Now, kamusta naman ang ating mga savings right now? No? Kaya mahal bang mag-retire? Yes. Eh ma'am, meron naman akong SSS. Okay. Now, this is coming from SSS website. I tried their calculator. And I assumed na for a 22-year-old with a 30,000 salary to start contributing, no? Hanggang nag-60 siya. Nung nag-60 siya, ang monthly pension niya when he retired at 60 is 12,431. Now, may I ask you, sapat na ba sa inyo to have a pension worth 12,431? Sapat ba? O chat na lang sa chat box, no? Now, if magre-retire ka, 65 na lang, ma'am, no? Ay, isasagad ko na lang. Then, your monthly pension from 65 onwards is 14,034 lang, guys, no? For sure, hindi na enough ito. Especially if you are very young right now, no? Hindi enough ang amount na ito to sustain the lifestyle that you desire, no? Kaya, better to just prepare privately, no? To prepare personally aside sa SSS pension, kailangan gawa ng paraan para maging comfortable ang ating retirement, no? Now, to master money, kailangan matuto tayong magma-manage ng pera. Now, many the major reason why Filipinos are stressed by debt, Filipinos are having a financial crisis, no? Nasa chronic financial stress, it's really because may mali sa management ng pera. Okay? So today, tuturuan kita ng 3 steps how to win the money game. And sana starting today, mag-practice ka na nito. Okay? Unang step is you have to establish the goal, no? Very cliche, very generic, but the sad news is majority of us wala tayong financial goal, or maybe the goal that we have is not smart, no? Hindi specific, hindi measurable, hindi attainable, walang relevance, at wala ding timeline. Kaya you end up na parang naka-ano lang, naka ikot-ikot lang, no? Kasi in the first place, you did not set the destination. Now, aminin, sino sa inyo here ang may clear, specific, may measurable, attainable financial goal na naiset no start ng taon? Or yung goal lang ba is, gusto ko yumaman, no? Now, I read from a book, no, by Brian Tracy. He said, goal setting is a life skill. And it is a very crucial skill if you want to succeed. Dahil ang tao, aside sa isang dove, alam niyo ba yung dove, no? Ano ba yung Tagalog ng dove? We have a goal-seeking function built in within us dahil we are made in the image and likeness of God, no? Ang problema lang, hindi natin siya ina-activate kasi in the first place, hindi natin na-realize how important goal setting is. Second, hindi natin alam paano pala ang proper goal setting. So, yun yung major problems and we are not tapping into this mechanism na built-in sa atin, no? But in our financial journey, if you really want to be financially free, you have to set a very clear destination. Kasi para alam ng brain mo, alam ng mind mo saan ka pupunta, no? Have you ever tried riding a car, a tricycle or maybe a jeep, tapos hindi mo alam saan ka hihinto, saan ka pupunta, no? Ang tawag mo diyan, no? Baka depressed ka or baka out of your mind, no? But you always must know your destination and you have to make it very, very clear. For example, you want to be financially free, but you cannot imagine that in your mind. It is not clear. Make it very clear. Example, I want to have my first million by age 30. O yun, di ba? Yung tipong pag sinara mo yung eyes mo, mai-imagine mo ang iyong passbook, nakatingin ka sa passbook mo, may 1 million balance doon at age 30. O, di ba? Ibang level pag binigyan mo siya ng clarity, ginawa mo siyang specific, binigyan mo ng timeline, and most importantly, you bring the goal from the mind to the heart. Paano? I-dedicate mo sa isang tao na kaya mong ipaglaban, mahit mo itong goal na to dahil sa taong ito. No? Because you bring that goal to the heart and it will most likely stick, no? Including, pwede sa sarili mo na rin, no? Na I earn 1 million by age 30 dahil ito yung magiging gateway ko para makapagpatayo ng bahay para kay nanay. O, di ba? Ibang level if you have a goal stated that way. So make your goal setting very clear. Now, sa buhay, marami kang aspects of life na you have to have a goal, di ba? May physical goal, social, mental, spiritual. But a part of that is also financial goal. Now, kung wala ka pang financial goal, now December is a best time para mag-revisit, no? How you will start 2025. Let me teach you the right way to prioritize your goal. No, kung wala ka pang goal, now there is what we call is the pyramid, no? The financial planning pyramid. This is the pyramid of financial needs. Meron ding tamang sequence ng goal setting sa finances. And I hope you will also follow this para mas solid ang foundation, mas solid ang ating pag-prepare, no? Para sa ating financial freedom, no? At the bottom of it, it should be starting sa wealth protection. Pag nakaprotect ka na, wealth accumulation comes next, and then eventually, you prepare wealth distribution before you leave Earth, kumbaga. So, dapat itong mga pag-create ng mga goals, naka-follow din sa prioritization na ito. So, this is a simple worksheet. You might want to have a screenshot. You might want this kind of format when you start 2025. No? Mag-reflect in one of these days in December, mag-reflect, mag-build ng financial goal. Ayun. Now, let me just dig deeper sa first category ng dapat i-prepare mo. No? The first one should be wealth protection. Bakit siya dapat ang unahin? Because there's this element of surprise. No? May element of uncertainty ang buhay na you don't know when it will strike. And these are the 4 components of the financial safety net. No? Alam nyo ba yung story ng The Three Little Pigs and the Wolf? No? Ano ba yung story nun? Diba yung first pig made the house made of sticks? Tama ba? Yung isa made of straw. Tama ba? And the third one made the house made of bricks. At hindi na kinaya na i-blow ng wolf yun. Ano yung point ng story na yun? You must make your house made of bricks. No? At same sa ating financial pattern, kailangan gawan mo muna ng safety net, no? Para solid, para fail-proof ang ating finances. Now, let me go to the first component. First component is the emergency fund, and this is my suggestion for you. Build an emergency fund 6 to 12 times of your monthly expenses. So kung may monthly expenses ka na 30,000 o at least may 180,000 ka, yan ang ilagay mo sa iyong ATM, savings account, o a little bit na nasa cash box at home, because your emergency fund is your just in case money, no? Just in case you lose your job, hindi nga the following day, no? Just in case, no? You end up in ER kasi na-aksidente ka, no? Or nakagat ka ng pet mo. Or just in case, no? Nag-need ka ng emergency repairs ng bahay, ng kotse. Yan ang gamit ng emergency fund, no? So yung COVID pandemic lockdown, it was really an acid test sa mga tao kung may emergency fund or wala. Kasi yung mga walang emergency fund, they really struggled mentally, nagde-depression dahil biglang nag-lockdown, nawalan ng trabaho. No, even business owners felt that. And for those with no emergency fund, nawalan sila ng resilience, no, to survive that pandemic, no. Kaya importante, make your finances fail-proof, have emergency fund. Ayan. So, second, importante may life insurance. Life insurance is just in case death happens, because death is certain, no? This is a life risk na you cannot get away with. However, you just don't know when and what's the manner, di ba? So, importante ang life insurance dahil ang purpose pala ng life insurance is to replace your economic value when you are gone. So, ang point lang pala niyan, guys, is kung ikaw yung breadwinner, if you are the money maker in the family, na you are bringing home the bacon monthly, may salary ka, at dahil sa sweldo mo, you have a family na nire-raise, no? May mga bata kang pinapaaral, ganun. Pag kukunin ka na ni Lord, paano na lang sila, no? So that purpose of that life insurance is yung future income mo, ipo-pull forward through the insurance company, no, to give time to your spouse or to the alternative family member to look for the income that was lost dahil wala ka na. Yun lang pala yung purpose ng life insurance, no? So, Ang suggestion, 5 times to 10 times of your annual income para may sapat na oras ang ating mga alternative family members to look for that income that you generated before. Okay? So, that's the second safety net. Now, the third safety net is to address another life risk, which is the risk of illness. So, para mag-gets niyo kung bakit importante to have health insurance, let me share to you the story of Juan and Jose. Si Juan at si Jose ay mag-BFF and both of them had 1 million. But they had different financial decisions and they had different financial priorities, no? Sabi ni Juan, Jose, lahat ng 1 million ko, i-invest ko. Kasi kailangan tumubo na ito, no? Mag-UITF ako, invest ko sa bangko, maybe magbe-business din ako. Kailangan mapalago ko yung pera. Wealth accumulation agad, no? But si Jose, nag-join ang financial planning ko, alam niya na safety net first. Sabi niya, out of my 1 million, 30,000 per year, ikakat ko from that 1 million, kukuha ako ng critical plan, critical illness plan. And yung 970, yun din papatubuin ko. I-invest ko sa bank, sa UITF, magnenegosyo din ako. So you see, they had different financial decisions kasi iba-iba yung kanilang knowledge, no? Now, let's say after a year, both of them suffered critical illness, both of them had stroke, okay? Now, the cost of treatment was 1 million. So Juan had no critical illness plan, so he paid from his own pocket. So yung lahat ng mga ininvest niya, pinatubo niya, he has to withdraw them all in order to pay the hospital. Siguro wala siyang utang when he got out of the hospital, but he ends up with zero balance, no? Ang masaklap is, what if wala na siyang ability to create wealth? What if na-paralyze si Juan? Di ba? Mas masaklap yon. But Jose, dahil naglagay siya ng safety net for health, sabi niya, AXA, pay the bill. The 970 that I had invested in the bank, nakapondo sa mga negosyo ko, that will continue to give me passive income. I can get out of the hospital with zero debt, and I still have money that is growing for me. Now, my friends, no? From the story, who do you think made the better decision sa kanilang 1 million? Si Juan, si Jose. Paki-chat sa chat box. Si Juan ba? Si Jose? No? Let me check lang kung may nakikinig pa sa akin. Oh, very good, no? So, tama naman. Wala naman nag-Juan dyan. Of course, Jose made the right decision. That's why important to incorporate safety net, no? Bago mag-accumulate ng pera. Now, the last financial safety net component is home insurance because there's another life risk. Ano yun? The risk of disaster. Alam nyo ba, top 1 ang Philippines according to the Harvard University study as the most dangerous country to live in. Kaya nag-i-increase nga yung mga home insurance rates. Alam nyo naman na suki tayo sa bagyo. No? And if you notice, the typhoons recently are now whipping up to be super typhoons so fast dahil sa ating weather, sa temperature ng globe. Tayo din ay nasa Pacific Ring of Fire, di ba? Susuki din yung mga bulkan at mga earthquakes. So ito lang talaga ang tanong na kailangan mo nang sagutin. If your home gets destroyed due to disaster, can you rebuild it quickly? Now, if the answer is no, please cover that with home insurance. It's as simple as that, no? Lalo na pag lahat ng mga savings mo, 'di ba? Napunta dun sa dream house mo and suddenly na wipe out ng isang super typhoon. So that is so unfortunate. Pero there is a way naman for you to avoid a crisis by insuring your house, no? Actually, hindi lang home. If you have other mga major investment projects, investment items such as a car, or baka may negosyo ka na nakapondo ka ng malaki-laki, please cover that. Ganun lang talaga yun. That's how you will build your financial safety net. So far ba clear, guys? Please type in the chat box clear if so far gets nyo naman ang aking discussion today. Thank you so much, no? All right, now, let me move on to the second step. Oh, yung kanina, first step pa lang yun. Establish mo yung goal mo. So, pag mag-financial goal setting ka, follow the rules of pyramid na sinasabi ko, no? After mo ma-establish yung goal mo, second is, nasaan na ako ngayon? Gusto ko magka 1 million by age 30. I have to assess right now. Where am I? No? Malapit na ba ako sa 1 million goal ko? Because what gets measured gets improved. Parang weight loss lang yan. No? Gusto kong mag-diet, gusto kong maging sexy. Pero hindi mo talaga tinry na mag-measure. Hindi ka umapak sa weighing scale, di ba? You'll never know if you are improving or not, no? Companies always have their accounting finance departments to run their financial reports because they have to run financial status regularly. What's the point? For them to know if they're profitable or they are going bankrupt, no? Tayo, kamusta? Nag-a-assess ba tayo regularly or not, no? If you are not doing that, now is the time to assess your financial status, to assess as well ano yung direction na tinatahak mo. Are you on your way to your journey, to your destination, o baka naman palayo ng palayo ka dahil on the way that you are managing your money? Okay? So there are so many financial financial indicators that you can run, but let me just teach you one today, no? You have to learn how to run your cash flow. O ganito lang yan. You can use papel, you can use Excel file, you can use a software, whatever you like. Basta ang point lang here is, assess mo, magkano yung pumasok versus lumabas. Yan lang, o, di ba? Napaka simple ng aking discussion. Magkano yung pumasok? Ilagay mo sa taas ang monthly income mo, sa spouse mo, at kung ano-ano bang source of income mo, ilagay mo sa taas, no? In my example, 30,000 ang cash in. Yun yung pumapasok sa family. At the bottom, check mo din. How much ang mga expenses ko? Magkano yung rent if meron, magkano sa utilities, no? Sa water, sa lights, sa Netflix, sa Globe, sa Smart, sa food, no? Yung groceries, yung daily allowance mo, yung lunch mo sa sa office, amortization sa bahay, sa kotse, transportation cost, sa gasoline, parking fee, pamasahe. Include mo na rin yung car registration, divide mo by 12, okay? School expenses, mga tuition, mga baon, no? Pambayad sa utang, yung mga recreation, dine out nyo every Sunday, no? Na family, yung clothing, toiletries, yung makeup budget mo, insurances, etc. I-add mo lahat ng yon, no? Cash out, 32,000. Tapos, check mo. 30,000 yung in, 30,000 yung lumalabas. Magkano yung difference? Negative 2,000. Now, if this is the lifestyle that you lead, are you on your way to your financial freedom or palayo ka? Sige nga, paki-chat. Are you getting nearer or farther? Sige, nearer or farther from your goal? Tama, lovely. Palayo. And if you run this, you will have your aha moment. Actually, if you run this tonight, you run this weekend, this will be a very, very good aha moment. Be transparent. Run it with your spouse. Dahil maganda talaga siyang awareness check, no? Para malaman nyo, bakit parang hirap na hirap ako, na idugtong, no? From one payday to next payday. Baka kailangan mag-adjust. Okay? So if you find yourself in the negative, something must be done drastically if you want to revert, no? To make that U-turn to hit your financial goal. So far, so good, guys? Okay naman? In discussion? All right? So, now, let me go to the step 3. Ito yung ating gagawin. So, step 1, ito yung gusto kong gawin. This is the goal. Step 2, this is where I am. Step 3, kailangan meron tayong effective na sistema. So, tuturuan kita ngayon, ano yung sistema that can work. Something na very, very easy to do, but very, very effective if you follow my lead. Okay? I attended the Millionaire Minds event in Manila, and I want to share with you lang the system that was taught there. It is the it says that importante you begin to manage things, no? It's not when I have plenty of money I'll begin to manage it. It's when I begin to manage it I have plenty of money. So kailangan pala you learn how to manage first, no matter how much it is. Hindi yung kailangan dumating na ako sa point na to, saka ko na lang ma-manage. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to start managing things kahit small pa lang para ready ka to handle big things. And that's how you will change your game. So ang ituturo ko today is the T. Harv Eker's 6 Jars Money Management System. So pag meron kang pera pumapasok, pag may income na pumapasok, you divide that into 6. Okay? Parating naka-6. Ano yung 6 jars na ito? Siyempre, it could be a jar, it could be an envelope, it could be a separate bank account. Ang point lang is, you have to learn how to allocate properly. No? So, first jar is called the necessities jar. 55% max. Kung pwedeng 50%, the best. No? Keep the necessities jar. This is for your obligations, your day-to-day needs. For food, for shelter, for insurance, for utilities, your rent, transportation, dito mo siya kukunin. And yung limit is up to 55% lang ng income mo. Now, if you run your cash flow later, maybe you can categorize ano dito ang pang necessities and paki-check. Am I exceeding the tolerable limit of 55%? Because if you do, then you're accepting a lot of obligations than what you can manage. And if that is the scenario, kaya feeling mo overwhelmed ka, you have two choices. Either you spend less, go through mo yung cash flow, yung expenses mo and see ano yung pwede mo ma-reduce, or you try to earn more, or you can even do both. Ang point lang is, try to get on track by just keeping your necessities up to 55% of your income. Okay? Claro? Now, let me move on to the second jar. The second jar is your LTSS jar. 10% of your income must go to your long-term savings na pang-spend mo later. Mga projects mo such as may pang-emergency fund, no, or rainy day fund, pang home down payment mo in the future, pang car purchase mo in the future, baka pang college tuition ng anak mo, no? Or baka gusto mo magkaroon ng negosyo, mag-start kang magtabi. Okay? At least 10% of your income is set aside mo na. Long-term savings na eventually you will spend din naman. Alright? The third jar is education jar. And this is another 10%. The education jar here is not for your children's tuition. This is for you to keep growing and learning dahil the more empowered you are, the better decisions that you will do in your life, di ba? The higher the chances that you will be succeeding. O, di ba? So invest in yourself, kumbaga. Invest in books, invest in trainings. You want to run a business later on, then invest in business education, di ba? Find a coach, find a mentor who will help you enroll in courses because the more knowledgeable you are, the better opportunities that will be opened up for you, no? Swerte nyo today dahil ito ay free lang naman, no? The education that you're learning from me today is just free. At sana i-apply nyo na lang yung mga natutunan from me, okay? So 10% i-allocate mo, also invest in your growth and in your learnings. Now the next jar is the play jar. Of course, this is where you also get to enjoy life, no? This is for you to treat yourself and your family. You spend on things that make you happy kasi hindi din naman madaling kumita ng pera. So you also deserve to treat yourself, no? To fancy dinner, o baka gusto mo ng masahe, gusto mo mag-attend ng concert, gusto mo mag-travel. I-set aside mo na yung pera, pero may limit, guys, no? 10% lang naman ng budget. The problem is, baka sumobra ka sa play. Sumobra ka sa allocation na ito, kaya you find yourself na kinakapos, no? Wala ka na nalagay sa ibang jars kasi lahat nag-play, no? So, 10% lang ang limit natin in a month, and that 10% you deserve to enjoy. Okay? Next. Sorry, the next jar is the give jar. This is the fifth jar. This is now for you to donate to causes that educate and improve others' lives. Kasi sabi din naman ni Lord, di ba? You give. Give and you'll receive 1,000-fold. So, importante din naman to be the giver. Kaya, 5% minimum, kung pwede 10% actually, no? So kung kaya mo yung 10%, yung necessities jar, gawin mong 50%, okay? So if you have a hard time managing the necessities jar, start with 5, augment it with service, augment it with extra time, no? Maybe to serve your church, to serve an NGO, or maybe to help your personal contacts in need, okay? And of course, if you want to be financially free, kailangan merong FFA, Financial Freedom Account Jar. Kasi how will you ever get that financial freedom kung hindi mo gagawa ng action plan, kung wala kang tinabi? So kahit 10% ng FFA, okay? This is when you start to have passive income streams, no? So like your stocks, your bonds, your mutual funds, real estates, REITs, kahit ano pa man, no? VULs mo sa insurance, mag-start ka ng pang rental income, whatever it will be, it's up to you. Ang point lang is 10% na makinikita mo monthly is set aside mo, tapos ilagay mo in whatever income stream that suits you, kung anong bet mo. At ang daming options, guys, no? Now, ito yung papakita ko sa inyo. This is the risk-return graph. These are just some of the examples where you can grow your passive income stream. No? So, for example, you are a risk taker, you want to have higher return, then go for business. No? But remember, the higher the return, the higher the risk. No? Hindi pwedeng high return, low risk. Kaya nasa scam tayo always. Because the universe doesn't work that way. No? So you want to earn your million fast, you do your business, but then be careful because not all businesses succeed. Thousands also fail. No? So kailangan alam mo na you are taking also bigger risk. Takot ka sa risk, low yung risk appetite, then you might want to also just consider government securities or bonds or time deposit, but don't expect high return. Pero ganyan talaga yung buhay, no? Now, ma'am, which one is best? You might ask me. Now, it depends. Now, it depends on your risk appetite. It depends on your objective. It depends on the horizon that you have. Pero yung aking suggestion lang is you diversify your portfolio. Do not put your eggs in one basket, no? So, yung mga halimbawa, itong mga needs mo maybe for long-term pa, for retirement mo, maybe you want to consider in funds, no? Mga equity funds, no? Kung hindi ka marunong mag-stocks, then go for VULs. May safety net ka pa, meron ka pang tumutubong funds like what we are offering in AXA, di ba? At syempre, yung mga midterm, short-term needs mo, lagay mo lang cash time deposit savings account dahil kailangan mo naman siya in the short term. So, importante, so wealth accumulation na strategy, you diversify your portfolio. Now, whatever it will be, no, syempre, kailangan pag-aralan, kaya kailangan yung education jar, no? But ang importante, you have to remember this. No? Kung hindi mo alam paano mag-stock trading, pwede namang mag-go with mga managed funds like what we are offering in AXA, or even UITFs and mutual funds, no? If you don't want to start your own traditional business, you can just invest in these companies dahil they are also open to shareholders like you, no? Kung ayaw mo naman sa Philippine market, you might want to consider the global market like what Nasdaq is. Gusto mo ba maging part owner ng Apple, no? Ng Amazon, Meta, o Tesla? O, pwede din naman yun. Available pala ang opportunities na ito, di ba? So, ang dami palang possibilities. Now, here is my tip. Remember to activate the law of compound interest to your advantage. Sabi ni Albert Einstein, the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. Ano yung compound interest? Yan ay interest over interest over interest, and it will snowball. Para mag-gets nyo, let me share to you this example. Let's say there's a 20-year-old who said, I will start saving 1,000 per month, but I will partner with a company that grows me 7% interest per year, no? So yung itong batang ito, dahil naturuan ng parent niya, no? Maybe this could be your son, di ba? At naturuan mo, anak, no? Mag-set aside ka ng 1,000 per month from your income, lagay mo sa FFA jar mo, lagay natin sa AXA, pinatubo. Let's say 7% interest per year. Now, nag-save siya hanggang nag-retire siya nung 60 years old, and that's a total of 40 years of savings. Pero dahil naka-compound interest at 7%, that person who has put in 480K will not get 480K but will get 2.4 million when he retires. Anong ginawa niya? Nag-save lang siya. Compound interest is at work, nag-grow through passive income aside sa kanyang active income na sweldo. But he retires a millionaire. Di ba? Ang ganda ng point na yan. But be careful because compound interest is a two-edged sword. It depends kung anong pinapa-compound mo. If in this case, pinapa-compound mo savings, it works for you. Pero pag ang pinapa-compound mo utang, it works against you. So that force is a two-edged sword. Kaya be careful ano ang pinapatubo mo. Alright? Now, here's the thing as well. The higher, imagine kung 1,000 per month naging 2.4, what if nag-save ka ng 5,000? Di ba mas nicer to retire with almost 12 million pesos? So ang rule pala na kailangan mo lang i-remember, the earlier, the bigger, the better. Again, the earlier, the bigger, the better. Kung wala ka na masyadong time, lakihan mo na lang, no? But ganun talaga ang life. Kaya while you are very young, and I see majority of you are young, please start saving and let the law of compounding work for you. Dahil kung hindi mo iti-take yung advice ko, there's a counter force that will work against you. Alam mo kung ano? It's inflation. And inflation is the killer of your money because it means there's a rise in the price of goods and services. There's no such thing na yung pera mong nasa alkansya mo lang, steady lang siya. No, it's not like that. Either it's growing or it's losing. No? The loss there is the loss of purchasing power. So maybe alam nyo tong inflation dahil nafe-feel nyo ito, right? So para mag-gets mo kung anong sinasabi ko, let's say you have 100 pesos and you decided to grow it. Sabi mo, mag-save ako. Okay, nag-save ako sa bank. 2% bank interest, di ba? So yung 100 mo, right now, kaya yung burger ng 100 pesos. However, next year, pinatubo mo siya, pero nilagay mo sa partner na grow lang ng 2%. Your money became 102, but kung ang inflation ay 5%, yung burger na 100 naging 105, hindi mo na ma-afford dahil 102 na yung pera mo. So maybe you notice, kahit nag-increase na yung salary mo, pero pag ang increase ng salary mo hindi enough to counter inflation, patay ka. Okay? So, kailangan wais tayo. We have to beat inflation. So, kung ano yung investment strategy mo to grow your money, to accumulate your wealth, make sure to activate the law of compounding and make sure you beat inflation. Ayan. So, gets nyo ba? O, pag hindi pa na-gets, ito yung inflation. So, kung today, yung 300 pesos mo, kaya pa isang manok, for sure, when you retire at age 40, abay, ito na lang siguro, ang kaya mong i-spend sa 300 pesos mo. Ayan, so ganyan talaga ang buhay. Inflation will not go away because it's part of the economic growth. Maybe the percentage will matter, but then it will always be there. So make sure that you understand na when you are growing money, again, kailangan i-beat mo yung rate ng inflation. Ayan, so just to summarize, kailangan gumawa ng sistema for you to bridge your gap. Your goal versus where you are, there is no other way but to start managing your money. Also, challenging your mindset and your behaviors and your habits. And in doing so, you are on your way to financial freedom. So if right now, itong allocation na ideal at nakita mo may mismatch, kailangan mo siyang i-fix. Okay? So, revisit your cash flow allocation, rebudget agad. Alright, so, may mga tanong ba in the house? Are you learning a lot today from me? May questions ba? Or aha moments? Baka naman pwedeng may mga comment dyan, suggestion, aha moment, whatever sa meeting room. Gets naman, wala namang tanong. Thank you so much, Ferdy. So parang wala namang tanong, no? So in that case, no, that ends our session tonight. If you find na this is very beneficial for you, please invite your friends to the next financial planning session. And if you want to have a solution, please talk to the financial advisor who invited you para mag-explore ng opportunities on how you can start your way to secure your financial protection and also your wealth accumulation. And with that, kung wala ng questions, thank you so much, guys, and enjoy your day. Bye!
Thank you, ma'am.
Sobrang,
Thank you,
ang
ma'am.
dami ng
Good evening. Good
share.
night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Super nice, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Mai.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.